All right, welcome back to another episode of the Cody Tucker Show. As always, I'm your host, Cody Tucker. Today, I'm joined by a very special guest, Miss Face Tat Mommy. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I am, well, sort of good. We talked about it earlier. Holy
Yeah.
hell, I am hurting over here. So, I mean,
Besides that, though.
hey, besides that, I'm doing pretty good.
Perfect.
I'm all right. I woke up this morning, so that's
That's
always a
that's all you can
start.
ask for.
Oh yeah. So before we get into things, is there anything that you'd like to promote? Like where can people find you? Any certain content you have coming out?
Oh man. I can be found on pretty much every platform. And if you can't find me immediately in the search bar, just Google Face Tat Mommy. I have a music show actually coming up March 11th in Denver. Um, Information for that can also be found on my Instagram.
That's awesome. How many live shows have you done? I mean, have you been doing it for a while?
I started making music like 2 years ago.
Okay.
But I've played a lot of shows. I played a music festival. I travel out of state to play.
Yeah. Do you have like is the n- I mean, you may not even have any nervousness, but is there like a different nervousness for like performing on stage versus doing like, adult entertainment? Like is there like
Yes.
yeah.
So like with the adult industry, I find like I'm really not ever nervous. I don't
Okay.
shoot with people unless I've talked to them a little bit or I'm comfortable. I'm putting another person's body inside of me. I want to be comfortable with you to an extent. So and like sex is so natural. So it's like, once you're comfortable with somebody, fuck it. That it's so easy. But then when you're performing music, and especially someone for me, being in the underground scene, looking how I do, and then making music that is totally opposite of how I look,
Mhm.
um, it's really nerve wracking sometimes. You get on stage and there's these blinding hot lights on you, and you hope you see enough people moving around to like
Yeah.
validate that you're not a piece of shit.
Have you ever had it happen where you were like, "Oh, this is not going well. Like, what do I do?" I have.
No.
I've had it. Like, just from comedy, boy,
Oh, I believe it. I've had
that's a rough
like the
one.
mom spaghetti feeling beforehand, where I'm like, I don't think I could do it. I'm gonna throw up right now. Somebody let me hit a blunt. Like,
Yeah.
but
God.
then when I get out there, it's pretty good. Like I make very experimental music. I don't think
Mhm.
anybody else makes music how I do. But the people I write it for definitely like appreciate it and get the crowd
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah. I mean, I've listened to, quite a bit of it, and it's pretty goddamn good.
Thank
So,
you.
like, I was like, "Oh, this okay," because I don't know what I had in mind, like, any kind of preconceptions of like, I try not to in general, but, I mean, whatever, I'm a goddamn human, like and when I was like, "Oh, shit, okay, this is like, I can definitely see this being, like, your music, but it
Yeah.
isn't necessarily what I thought it was gonna be." Does that make
Uh,
sense?
what did you think it was gonna be?
Mm, I it's hard to even, oh, so okay, so I think it was, like, maybe a couple days ago, we were talking about how much we fucking love Typo Negative.
Yes.
And maybe part of me was thinking something like a more hardcore version of that.
Oh my god. Okay, so
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
am I am starting like alternative side project for my music.
Really?
Um yeah, I have not released anything yet. I have not even really promoted the name or anything. It's pretty
Okay.
secret right now. But I'm kind of going more towards like a cross between like Switchblade Symphony and like
Okay.
Sexual Purity Boy Harsher vibes.
Nice. Okay. Now, I will have to admit to you, like, I haven't listened to new music since I was probably 10 years old.
What are you doing?
Okay, and look, this is gonna make me look like a fucking asshole, which I mean, get in line. Um, I just am I'm basically a 70-year-old man inside of, a real beat up 29-year-old. So like it is I just every time I hear something new, I immediately am just like, I don't like this. Not
a good
every time,
amount.
not every time, but
I
a
feel that.
majority of the time, I'm just like, I would rather listen to the music that I listened to when I was a kid, and I really don't mind that I'm not keeping up. I tried to. So the Grammys were like, whatever Sunday, and I tried
Yeah.
listening to all the shit that was nominated. Boy, that is some rough,
I give you
rough
credit for
stuff.
trying because I can't.
It was so bad. Like I was like, I haven't like dug into popular music in so long.
Mm.
So let me just see what it is. And maybe there is stuff I'll like. Harry Styles isn't too bad. I am surprised I'm saying that out loud.
He's
But
got
he's
some
not
talent, you know. I'll give him that.
it's okay, but like I don't know. I would rather just sit around and listen to Nine Inch Nails and Typo Negative.
Yeah, I'm pretty okay, I'm similar. I feel like a lot of mainstream music, especially like the top 40 and the radio shit,
Mhm.
fucking blows. Like it
Yeah.
is just everybody trying to be copies of each other. There's no fucking originality. Like when I listen to music, I 100% of the time I'm on SoundCloud. Like I am looking for all these underground people who are underappreciated and they're
Mhm.
so fucking good. Like
Yeah. That is the problem is that anyone can make music, which I know a lot of people shit on that idea, but it has its good and bad. Like, it's good
yeah,
that you
definitely.
don't have to deal with, like, the, record label bullshit like you
Mhm.
used to, but it is bad because people who are genuinely talented are just gonna get buried with the
Yeah.
other 5,000
Yeah, if
people
you
who
don't got
mm,
money for promotion or you don't know the right people,
yeah,
good luck, basically.
exactly, which I mean, I'm sure the music industry has always been like that to an extent.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was definitely a hell of a lot harder to get an album made in
Oh,
1970
definitely.
than now, so,
Well, I think a lot of our technology nowadays has so much to do with that because
yeah.
everybody's got like a fucking laptop or a smartphone nowadays. You can make a beat on anything.
Yeah, yeah, you can produce an album that sounds professionally done with
Mhm.
a basic computer setup. Like,
Oh yeah,
I've done it. I
literally
mean, I've made music.
one of my songs has been done in a studio. Everything else has been in my fucking closet, like a closet setup.
Yeah, I mean, that's yeah, I mean, I don't know. I try not to sound like just a grumpy old man, but, I mean, it is what it is, like,
You can sound like a grumpy old man all you want. It's appreciated.
thank you, thank you. So, yeah, I mean, as soon as I saw you were in, like, the Typo Negative shirt, I was like, "Oh, shit, okay, awesome." Because like, dude, Typo Negative, nobody cares about them. I
It's
mean,
so slept
you know
on. So fucking like that whole era of like metal and like goth music is just so
yeah,
fucking good.
yeah. Okay, if you I mean, I look, this is just between us girls, but I think Peter Steele probably had a piece on him.
You've never looked?
Oh, can you see it?
Yes, he posed for Playgirl.
Really?
Yo, okay. So
Okay.
my mom was like super like Victorian slash like 80s trad goth, and she was obsessed with Type of Nugget. She's the one who
Yeah.
got me in them. And this motherfucker, she played in a pool league, and her lucky charm was the picture steal ripped out page from Playgirl. She folded it up and kept it in her fucking pool case at all times.
Jesus.
16-year-old me got curious one day, was like,
How was it?
that man was packing. I
Of
would have been a
course.
groupie for sure.
Oh, yeah, like that interview where he's on Jerry Springer and all these women are just like
It's
losing it.
fucking that would have been me.
Shit, me too. I'd
I
have
don't
showed
even
him.
need my Jerry beads. Take me
Look,
backstage.
I'd have showed him the old double D's too. I've been,
Ooh,
man.
yeah.
I mean,
Throwing myself at that
the
man.
dude. I mean, yeah, like, yeah. I mean, I happen to be a straight dude, despite what most people might think. But it wouldn't take a lot of convincing. I'll just say
And
that.
I get it though. Like I really am a super straight female, but
Yeah.
like every now and then, like I'm like,
So if you could like go back in time and shoot a scene with any celebrity, like in their prime, is Peter Steele like up there, or is there somebody else?
like no, because although he's like got a fucking beautiful voice and a beautiful um piece. Like he's kind of ugly in the face, and I'm very shallow.
Dude, okay. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
It's like the like caveman brow kind of like does it for me. Like, you have that strong bone.
Yeah. Yeah, you know how, like, they say everybody has, like, a certain percentage of, like, Neanderthal DNA? I think he's, like, making up for the people who don't have
Oh
any.
yeah,
Like, he
definitely.
he got a big chunk of it.
Definitely, definitely. Like, he
Yeah.
looks like he's gonna throw a Heineken bottle at me at any point, like, but he wouldn't, you know? Like,
Well, I mean, from
but
the stories
maybe.
I've heard, that
I
he
guess it
might.
depends on the era of Peter Steele.
Yeah, because there's definitely a good and a bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, 100%.
yeah, it's I mean,
100%.
it's similar to Marilyn Manson. It's just
Yeah, you know, like, it fucking sucks because I really, really love him, and then it's, like, kinda recently, these things have been surfacing that are not so great, and I'm like,
yeah.
maybe I would have been locked up in his dungeon, who knows, like
Yeah, I mean, I've been obsessed with Marilyn Manson since I was a little kid, and everybody who
Oh,
knows
yeah.
me knows that it's like a weird obsession I had at a probably way too young of an age, like 5 or 6 to
He
10.
didn't take his ribs out, like
I've lost so many friends over that argument of just being like, "Do you not even know how the fucking human body works? Like, taking out a rib is not gonna make you suck your own dick. If it did, I would have 1 rib in my body." Like
No, for
like
real, yeah,
like,
if
you
I
would
see
never
my
see me
pussy
again. Like,
yeah,
I mean
yeah.
and, yeah, I've just gotten into so many arguments, but I just, like, grew up super weird, which we might be able to relate. I'm not calling you weird, but
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sure you
I'm
think
definitely
you're weird.
super weird.
Yeah, but there's a difference between being weird and strange. Like, weird is
Yeah,
good. Strange
yes.
strange is,
Yeah, I'm not, like,
I'm gonna
picking
feed you
scabs
a
and
person.
eating them, like
Right, right. Like, I watched that Jeffrey Dahmer documentary. Dude was
Oh my god.
strange.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like,
he's
you should
not
have known
weird.
from the beginning, like
Yes. "You wanna eat this sandwich?" Like, no. No,
Yeah, no,
Jeff.
I watched all that shit too, like,
Yeah.
and being from Milwaukee, like, I had to, like, force myself to
Oh,
watch it, and I was
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
You're really giving us a bad name."
Yeah. See, like, I'm from, like, outside of Dallas, and all we have is, like, the JFK stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that's our, black spot. But, you had a
Go
motherfucker that was
Mitch.
eating people. Like we just had a president get his, wig split, but,
We got
yeah.
hella serial killers.
Yeah, there's something about the Midwest that just
You know,
breeds
I
the
think it's, like, the isolation because so
Yeah.
much of it is rural, like, you just start thinking crazy, like, paranoid things, and then I think eventually, like, you just snap, like,
Yeah.
especially these, like, weird motherfuckers on these farms, like, when I was growing up, I went to so many, like, farm parties, cornfield
Yeah.
parties, and, like, those motherfuckers were weird, like, "Hey, you wanna come check out these cows with me?" And you're like,
No.
kinda fucked up and underage, and you're like, "What's with the cows? Like, what are you doing with these cows?"
Yeah, that is true. Did you ever go cow tipping?
No, I was too scared to get kicked or something.
Yeah, you can get real fucked up by
Like,
one of
I'm
them things.
small, and I was smaller then, I would've got fucked up, I would've
Look
died.
look, I'm an animal lover in general, but cows are the dumbest animals on the planet. They're
Oh, yeah.
basically like giant versions of, like, beetles. Like, they just don't they're like big versions of goldfish. Like,
No,
they
for real.
they don't know what's going on 90% of the time.
Definitely, definitely. Like Wisconsin State Fair, will have like not just like one area of cows where you can go pet them. Like, they'll have like
Yeah,
12 buildings of fucking
yeah.
cows for you to go look at, and you just like just stick your hand out, and these cows just go crazy, licking your tongues with their big fucking gross tongues,
It's
and
disgusting.
like it's fucking disgusting. And you just sit there and you look at all these fucking like blue collar podunk ass motherfuckers, just like lick my hands, like
Yeah. Yeah. Trust me, Texas and Wisconsin probably have a lot in common because our
oh,
state fair is
I went
it's
to
a
Texas one time. I was down in Houston a couple weeks ago, and
okay.
it was not anything like my little fucking brain imagined Texas was gonna be
Houston
like.
is not Texas. I mean, and for the rest of Texas, Houston is not Houston is like Vietnam,
Yo,
Germany, and
I
Mexico and
felt like I
China
was
put
in a
together.
third world fucking country, dude.
Houston is a wild place.
I was
Now, if
like,
you go
first
to,
of
like, the wards, like, where, like, Beyonce and, like, the Ghetto Boys are from,
mhm.
that is Houston. Like
Oh my god, it
that's
was
Houston.
nuts, like, I don't know why I didn't imagine there would be palm trees. Don't know why I didn't think that, but I
Yeah.
got down there and I was like, "Whoa, okay." And then there was, like, random dogs running around and,
Oh,
like,
well,
all these,
that's
like,
yeah.
fucking shitty ass buildings, and I was like, "Where
No,
the fuck did I
that's
go?"
all of Texas. Texas is that is the belt buckle on the stray animal belt. I'm telling you right now, not joking. I was outside earlier smoking a cigarette, and there was a pack of about 12 stray dogs that just ran down my street, and it
Oh,
happens every day. And there's always like the same
what?
core 8 and then 4 that alternate.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh no, it's Texas is it's wild. I mean, I've
I'm
lived
like,
here my
I live
entire
in
life and it's
Denver
wild.
right now, and it's so gentrified. It's so
Yeah, yeah.
white. There's so many granola people.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, it was like a culture shock moving here, honestly. Like, I went from living on the north side of Milwaukee to fucking Rhino in Denver, and it was like going from gunshots and sirens all night long, getting shot at if you were light skinned, to like, I was literally like listening to crime shows so I could fall asleep because I was like, it's too quiet. This is weird. What are these people up
Yeah.
to?
Yeah. Well, the Denver area has some has a history of
Yo, definitely.
yeah, I mean, you add in like, was the movie theater Aurora and then Columbine, you're like, "Whoo,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
This
Yeah,
is."
there's some definite weird shit. I've gone to that movie theater recently,
Oh,
actually.
really?
It's so nice now.
Did you see that, like, movie theaters are starting to do, like, where you're paying more to sit in certain seats?
Yeah. Yeah, they do that out here,
It's the
like,
dumbest thing
they'll
I've
pop
ever
up a
heard.
grid, and it'll
Yeah.
show you the seats, and it's like when you fly on a fucking airplane, like, it'll be like,
Right,
"Oh,
right.
this seat's $5, this seat's $2, this seat's free, this seat's $12, but it reclines," like
Yeah. It's insane, but I'm sure that, like, I mean, when the next Batman or Joker movie comes out, all the seats by the exit are gonna be about $50.
So what you do is you just go during, like, a stupid hour where most people are not going,
Yeah, yeah,
pay
yeah.
for the get the free seat or whatever, the cheapest seat. That shit's not filling up. You just walk
Right.
your happy ass over to another seat.
Yeah, like a
Nobody's
baseball
checking.
game. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it's the white trash sale where you just
Seriously,
you buy
like,
the
yeah,
nosebleeds and then you
and
just
nobody's
by the
gonna come
7th
in
inning.
during the movie and be like,
Exactly.
"Get the fuck out of here. What? Let me see your ticket."
I worked in a movie theater whenever the Aurora, like, shootings happened. I mean,
Mhm.
obviously, it was, like, here in Texas, but we had to have it was when Dark Knight Rises came out, and so, like, we had to have this big meeting basically saying, like, "Hey, if something suspicious happens, like, get out. Like, get
Oh
everybody out."
my
A
god.
dude kept calling all day asking when the police and security are at the movie theater,
So
and we
they
were
feel
like,
safe to come,
or
or
when
so
they
they
know when
could do
to
some fucked up shit.
well, we don't know, and so, like, I was just like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna get shot in the head for
Oh
minimum wage.
my
Like,
god.
this this is gonna be horrible." And, obviously, I'm still
Not worth
here,
it for
so
minimum wage.
no, no.
Fuck
But,
capitalism.
yeah, what yeah, it was wild. Wait, so who would you do a scene with then?
Uh, oh yeah. Um, you know who is fine as fuck? Heath
Who?
Ledger.
It's the greatest like, I'm a movie fanatic. It
He
is the
was so
greatest
talented,
loss.
so beautiful, like, he
Yeah.
had beautiful hair, like, I would love to just run my fingers through that shit.
Amen. That, like,
RIP to a fucking real one. He would have done some great fucking things. He could
I
have been the next,
always
like, Leonardo DiCaprio, but not weird.
I always think about that, like, what movies he would have been in. Like, whenever a movie comes out, I'm
Mhm.
like, "Oh, I bet he would have been in this movie."
I'm the
Like,
same fucking way, like, he would have
yeah,
been better for this role, like
yeah. He is like 10 Things I Hate About You is one of my favorite movies,
mm.
which it's very different from the movies I usually like, which is like Silence of the Lambs and shit like that. But, yeah, there's just something mesmerizing about Heath Ledger at
I
such a young age. He was
swear,
like
like, it's, like,
19.
dreamy.
Yeah. Yeah, Heath Ledger, that is a great one. I'd probably go with, I had a huge crush on, Lil' Kim whenever I was a kid. Um, Which I still
Really?
do. Yeah, I still do, even though she looks like fucking Dolly
I was
Parton.
like, the plastic surgery fucked her up.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, now, I mean, I probably still would just to say, like, "Dude, I fucked Lil' Kim." And when they ask when, I'd go, some time ago." Like, I wouldn't let them know it was now.
Yeah.
But,
Time travel.
yeah, yeah. Her or, Susie Sue from Susie and the Banshees. I don't know if you're
Oh
listening
my
to them,
god,
but
I love her. Okay, I've been
amazing.
since I've been working on this alternative project, I've been
Mhm.
listening to so much Susie and the Banshees. Like,
Really?
yes,
You have a
I
favorite
like.
song?
Mm,
Mine is "Monitor," which I don't know if you've heard that song, but it sounds like it came out yesterday, and it came out in, like, '79 or '80. I'm like, "What the hell?" Like,
I'll have to look it up. I think
okay.
Cities and Dust is probably my
I was
favorite.
gonna say that's my number 2, Cities and Dust.
I love that.
Yeah,
Obviously Happy House is probably like a close second.
that's a good one too, yeah.
Yeah,
See,
I love her fucking voice so fucking much, and I think how
it's
she came up is such a phenomenal story.
yeah,
Like,
wasn't she like a groupie for the Sex
she was
Pistols?
a fucking groupie for the Sex Pistols,
That's
and
awesome.
yeah, they were like doing an interview one time or whatever, and they she was just chilling there with them. They kept focusing on her, asking her questions, and then she ended up playing a show and fucking blew up harder than the fucking Sex Pistols. Honestly, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I mean, I'm not a massive Sex Pistols fan.
No, me either.
I mean, I get that they're super important, but I mean,
Yeah,
eh.
important, but, like, also, like, kinda pieces of shit
Yeah,
and
Sid Vicious was a real I mean, he murdered someone, and people don't
literally.
care. He
If you
killed
don't
her.
believe that, like, you're stupid,
He
like,
100% killed her. Now, whether he knows that he did it, I don't know. I
I
mean, he may
believe he
have
was
been
probably really fucked up and probably
yeah.
blacked out, but I like, you once you do something, you
S
did it.
It's murder. It's
Yeah.
murder whether you were blacked out or
Murder
not.
is murder.
Yeah, like, so it's hard for me to be a Sid Vicious fan when it's like, "Oh, yeah, he killed his girlfriend," like
Yeah.
which the movie is great though
Yeah,
with
you're a
Gary
raging
Oldman, but
heroin addict and a murderer,
yeah,
like.
yeah. I, but I get, that they're an important whatever, but I would much rather listen to Susie and the Banshees and
Oh,
the
100%.
Misfits and shit like
There's
that.
like there's not really like negative connotation behind her, and I feel like
The
it's
opposite.
because she went the more like goth scene route. I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of that punk scene from that era is like really misogynistic, really racist. Like you look at any videos from them performing, they're punching bitches in the face, like they're
Yeah.
spitting on women, they're like saying the most foul things.
Well, there's a reason why all the women who came up in the punk scene left it quick. Like
Yeah.
Blondie, I mean, that's how which Debbie Harry is probably actually my number 2. So, like, I would say Susie Sue number 1 and then Debbie Harry number 2. But, like, Blondie started off doing, like, CBGBs on these punk things,
Mhm.
and that didn't last long. And then, like, Patti Smith, who's also fucking amazing, but Patti
Yep.
Smith didn't stay long. Like, there's only a few. There's, like, what's her name? Wendy O. Williams. I don't know if you ever listened to the Plasmatics, I
Yeah,
think.
not too much.
Okay, yeah, she stayed in it, but, she had some problems, so it kind of
Oh, I
makes sense.
bet. Like you're a woman in the punk scene back then. Like,
Yeah.
that alone is so much problem. Like,
Do you do you wish that you grew up then, or are you glad that you're
fuck
around
no.
now?
Fuck no.
Really?
I think I
I
yes.
do,
I
yeah,
no. Okay. So, I think I was born in the perfect time for someone like me.
okay,
I was born in 93,
same.
fucking I think that was the best era for me, just coming from the perspective of being a woman, being
Mhm.
Hispanic, being alternative.
Yeah,
And then I think about the opportunities I would not have had then and that I'm allowed to have now just based off of those things. I feel like
yeah,
I would have been probably limited and miserable.
yeah.
It would have
I
sucked
mean
if I would have been living back then. I probably would have been a really cool groupie for some bands. Like I probably still would
yeah.
have gotten into the adult industry, but I probably wouldn't have been happy. I would not have been able to look like this at all.
No, no, not at all. I mean, it would have been a very toned down version.
Oh yeah, I probably could have done some pink in my hair. I probably could have got a
Yeah.
nose piercing or eyebrow
Yeah,
piercing,
because if you look
but
at, like I mean, Susie Sue had, like, she had a look that was
yeah,
not
it's
normal,
fucking
but it
iconic.
wasn't the same. I mean, it wasn't even close to like what you could do now and be
Yeah.
perfectly acceptable to, most
Yeah,
people.
even getting like an extensive amount of body tattoos then would have been taboo for me.
Yeah, I don't even know hardly any people who had tattoos, even in like punk music.
Yeah, no,
Like
like you maybe find like one little tattoo or
exactly.
something,
Like when
but
you watch those videos of like Iggy Pop and all of them, like they have zero tattoos, which now like
yeah.
fucking Adam Levine is covered in tattoos. Like what the hell is going on?
God, he's such a weirdo too though.
Oh yeah. He okay, you know who I mean, I will die on this hill. Jared Leto is the weirdest son of a bitch on the planet.
Oh, he's
Uh,
another one of those people where it's like I was so attracted to him and liked him so much, and then he progressively got weirder.
look, I is for any legal reasons, I'm just assuming that this is all true. But he has like an underage sex cult in like a
I've heard
mountain.
some weird shit about that. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like it's always these pretty and super talented fucking Hollywood people who are doing the weirdest shit.
Yeah. Jared Leto is a fucking creep. And I mean, but there was a phase in my life. Like I dated a girl in high school who was obsessed with 30 Seconds to Mars, had like the echelon tattoo and all that bullshit, like obsessed. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna give it a shot because I was never into like that kind of music, like
Yeah,
the
it,
more
it's a
emo,
little
like
softer.
right. I mean, I liked AFI a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit,
definitely.
but I mean, AFI is like sort of in that group, but
They
not
they
really.
they hit that emo shit for a little bit, but they were
Right.
overall a punk band,
I
like
think so too. Yeah. So like I listened to 30 Seconds to Mars and found myself becoming weirdly obsessed with 30 Seconds to Mars. And I was like, oh, this is a cult. Like I realized that back then. I was like, oh, they brainwash you with his music.
yeah.
And it is
I remember being
wild.
like 16, like locking myself in my room, just listening to 30 Seconds to Mars songs, just like
Oh man, I did it. I did it a lot. I did that with Nine Inch Nails a lot. Like I'd listen to the
Oh.
Downward Spiral and be like, "This is made for me." And meanwhile, I had nothing really bad in my life. I mean, I had a lot of
I was
anxiety,
that
but like,
way really heavily with the used.
oh
God.
yeah, I
I
forgot
like
about them. That's amazing.
the used fueled my whole emo phase. Honestly, the used is probably why I never left my emo phase.
Is it what the Taste of Ink? Isn't that them? Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
have
I
that tattooed above my pussy.
do you really? Same. No, okay. Really.
People are like the taste of ink, and I'm like, it was a time. It was one of my first tattoos, and it was a time.
It's an interesting place to put it. I'll say
Yeah.
that.
Okay. So I was like 15, almost 16, and I didn't want my mom to see my tattoo. So the only place I could think of where my mom would never see it was like my waistband area. Like
Okay.
I'd always have underwear on, swimsuit, pants, whatever.
Right.
Like, bitch, you will never see it. She didn't see it. Like literally, I ended up going like another 2 years and I was 17. I went and got like my chest blasted
Okay.
and then
Yeah,
a
yeah,
big
yeah.
piece on the back of my leg, and she didn't even notice my chest tattoo for like a fucking probably like half a year. She noticed the
Really?
back of my leg one day because it was raining and I rolled my pants up outside, and she's like, "What's
Yeah.
that?"
Is she real traditional? Or
No,
was she
not at
pretty
all.
cool about
My mom she's like super. She's a fucking.
well,
She's
she had the
not.
Peter Steele
She's the
hog
C
picture, so
word,
yeah.
but she
Yeah.
like was relatively like aesthetically cool. Like she
That's
was
cool. Yeah.
super fucking goth, bunch of tattoos,
Okay.
shit tons of piercings in her face, dyed hair, like
Right. So
yeah,
she's
like
not like against
no,
your
no, she
lifestyle or
just
anything.
hated
Yeah.
that her daughter was doing it. Like
That's understandable. I mean, I
like
can
the
get
second
that.
she found out I had a tattoo, I was like, it's over with. I went and got fuck them tattooed on the sides of my hands. 17 years old. I came home and she was just like,
Jesus.
please stop. Like
Yeah, you really limited your options quick. I mean, it's
you
gonna be
know,
hard to work at a bank with.
so I still get like I I have a great personality. Like everywhere
Yeah,
I go, I get offered a fucking job. Like, do you want to come have a part-time job, like just for fun? Like, I'm I got a
s-
lot of skills.
yeah,
I'm pretty educated and I have a great personality. So I have never been limited.
yeah.
I started tattooing my face when I was 20 years old. Um
Wow.
and I hadn't even had my first job at that point. I didn't
Woo.
get my first job until I was 23 years old.
What was your first job?
I worked at Jimmy John's.
Nice. Dude, Jimmy
It
John's is awesome.
it
The
was
number 9
awesome. I
Italian
was a
nightclub?
beast.
God. That is my favorite. The number 9 Italian nightclub with Genoa salami pepperoni. Oh my god.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
I'm a slut for Jimmy John's. Honestly, like that is one place I worked. I never got sick of it. I still eat Jimmy John's probably like 2 or 3 times a week.
that's amazing. I worked at Subway, which speaking of my fucking food poisoning, but yeah, I worked at Subway. That was my first job, and god, it was a disaster.
Oh,
I
I bet.
mean,
I had so many friends who fucking worked at Subway and they all hated it. Like it was their least favorite job, but we all got free subs anytime we
oh
wanted
yeah.
because they
Oh, I
hated their
stole
job.
so much money
We
from that
got all
place.
the fucking cookies, like
Yeah. Oh, I used to go into the freezer and just eat cookie dough. And just
yo,
be and
I
every
had
time just
friends that would
like,
make they'd stop by or like they'd be like, have you stopped by? And they'd be like, all right, here's these cookies, here's some cookie dough. Like, what sandwich do you fucking want? Do you want a large soda? Like, take some chips.
oh
Fuck
yeah.
this place.
Oh yeah, I gave away so much money worth of stuff. I think I added it up one time and it was, I mean, I probably shouldn't say it in public, but it was a lot. I mean, it was like
Hypothetically, if I was giving shit out at Subway.
yeah, hypothetically it may have been somewhere in between $500 and $5,000. No.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
had some
yeah.
friends, they would be like, they wanna hang out, but they'd wanna get out early, and they'd be like, "If you come in at closing, and you fucking mop for me, I'll give you anything you want."
Yes. God, I'm so glad to know that wasn't just like me and my friends that worked there, that is a Subway
No, that is
tradition.
universal,
Okay,
baby.
okay. Yeah, because we did that all the time. I was like, "Dude, if
Oh,
you help
yeah.
me close,
I
I'll
was
make you
that
a
friend.
sale."
I'm like, "I'll turn all your signs off right the fuck now.
Yeah.
Give me the
Oh,
mop bucket."
we used to close an hour and a half early
Mhm.
and just sit in the little walk-in refrigerator in the dark.
I would do that at
Like,
Jimmy John's. I would just like the door would be unlocked like for like maybe like up until the last hour. Then
yeah,
I'd
yeah,
turn off the sign, hang out in the back, and like
yeah.
hope nobody came and knocked on the door for a sandwich.
That's amazing.
Like I've
Yeah,
already closed up the cold table. Most of everything's put away. Don't make me unwrap it all. Like
it really made me realize that 16-year-olds shouldn't be allowed to have jobs.
no, not at all. Fuck
And
no.
how it worked, there were 3 people who worked there, like, every night, and all 3 of us were 16 and, like, friends. So
They
you
have a
think we were
Taco Bell
doing
by my house
anything?
like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's
And
God,
they don't open the lobby once the sun goes down because it's only 16-year-olds working there. Like drive-through only. It's
that's
so fucked
amazing.
up. They'll let you walk through the drive-through though, just because they won't let anybody inside.
Well, that's nice. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, man, I don't miss it at all. I gained so much weight working there. Like, I would just
All
eat.
the bread.
Oh my god, like, I would just
Yeah,
eat
I was
everything.
chunky when I worked at Jimmy John's.
Oh, I'm sure like, it'd be impossible not to. Like,
Yeah, like okay, so
ah,
at Jimmy John's, they gotta pull out the middle of the bread for a lot of those subs, and
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
half the time we're starving and online, so it's like just throw some mayo and oregano on it real quick, shove it in your mouth, and you're like, okay, who wants another sandwich? Fucking middle out.
That's not bad. That is amazing. God. But yeah, I definitely think I was around. I don't belong in this time. Like going back to what I was talking
I
about.
could see you doing better, like if you were born 10 years earlier.
I think even more. I think like
Yeah.
20 or 30 years. Like I would much rather
Oh
have grown
shit.
up like in the late 70s, early 80s. Like all the
Yeah,
music I
you're a
like, all the
white
movies I
male. You
like.
would have done good.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is a Louis C.K. bit, so I don't want to like pretend like this is my idea. But pretty much if you're a white dude, you can time travel in the past
Yeah.
and be fine no matter where you go.
Oh yeah, you're
But
not
the
fucking wrong.
future, no. That's like his bit, I think. So I don't,
Yep, this era now is probably the turning point for
yeah,
anybody who's white, privileged, straight, like
yeah. I got 2 out of the 3, so it's not gonna be
I feel
good for
it.
me at
I got
all.
2 out of the
I mean, the privileged part is luckily keeping me, somewhat at bay, but, I don't think it's
I'm
gonna hold
like,
up in
I just
court.
pull the "I'm not really white" card. I'm sorry, my ancestors were pillaged, like
I mean, there's some people that you just really can't tell that much or could pass, which is kind of weird to think, but, like,
Yeah.
I'm not one of them. Like, there's no confusing what I
No,
am.
no,
Yeah,
you're white, you can
yeah.
tell from
Oh,
a
I am
thousand
a
miles away.
oh, yeah. I mean, I'm, like, the most crackerish person on the planet, I would think. Although, I do like 90s hip hop, which maybe gives me a little boost, but I still don't think, too much. Because 'cause I'm also a big Eminem fan, which knocks me right back down.
Okay, but, like, we can argue the whole Eminem thing a little bit because I
Okay.
think he really genuinely is talented. I
Yeah.
don't think anybody else really is on his fucking level. Like,
Mm-mm.
he spits fucking crazy. He can
Yeah.
freestyle fucking insane. And that is a talent a lot of people don't have nowadays.
Right.
But I think his gimmick is a little worn out and corny nowadays. I think he could give up the whole like I hate my mom, the trailer park, dissing on younger rappers to be relevant.
I think I do know, and I know exactly what you're saying. I agree. I think the dissing on younger rappers, if he's doing it to rappers who have, like, said something about him first,
Yeah, like
then
the
I'm all
MGK
for it.
shit.
The MGK thing is the perfect example. Like
Yeah.
that, I'm like, "Yes," because
Yeah,
he is the
he
greatest at
deserved
doing it.
that.
Right, and Eminem is the greatest at just ruining someone's career
hmm
by making a fucking rhyme with their
But
name
there's
in it.
like I can't even think of like the people off the top of my head right
Well, he's done it with
now.
a lot of people that maybe did this person do anything to you? But he also that's been his whole career too. But I know exactly what you mean. Like there is kind of like a gimmick to it, but it wasn't a gimmick in the day, you know?
Yeah.
Like when he
Yeah,
was in his
no,
20s,
definitely.
like that's his life. And so it felt more like real. I It's the same parallel with like Marilyn Manson to me. Like Marilyn Manson, when you're young, you can do all this crazy stuff and it seems like
Yeah.
revolutionary and all this
Yeah,
stuff. But when you're
there's a totally big
50,
difference.
right, when you're 50 years old, it's like, why are you still like I went to go see Marilyn Manson in concert a couple of years ago with Smashing Pumpkins, and he was still doing like the, burning the Bible and all this stuff.
Mhm.
I'm like, it's kind of cool when you're like, in your 20s, but
Okay,
now
but
it's
he
like you're
has
50.
altered the image and the gimmick a little bit. He's toned down, how he's dressing and the makeup and
Well,
shit.
just
So
because he got
I think
overweight.
for him to still do the burning and shit, like
Yeah.
it's still kind of staying true to Marilyn Manson, but also like it it's like it's mature for him.
Understand. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I
Whereas
just
like Eminem, like back when he was, early in his career, the first like 20 years of his career, I'll even argue, it was
mhm,
fine for him to be, the whole bleach blonde, hoodie
yeah.
up, calling everybody out, talking shit, talking about all his fucking unhealed trauma, that was fine.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now it's like, you have a daughter who's in her fucking like 20s now.
Yeah.
Like drop the mom beef, like
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
No, I get that for sure. It is kind of like, man, you're 50, like, you know,
I
it's
think somebody
over.
needs to hug him. Like that might be it.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen what his daughter looks like?
She's gorgeous.
Whew,
She's fucking
God. I
gorgeous.
know, I saw a
I don't
picture,
know.
I was like, "There is no way." I'd be so
Honestly,
intimidated.
I didn't expect him to have an ugly kid because
Well,
like
yeah, because
he's not
Kim's hot
my
as hell
cup of
too.
tea, but he's not ugly.
Right, and the chick, Kim, whatever his ex, she's super hot.
I don't think I've ever looked at her
Nah,
honestly.
she's really
I bet
hot.
she's hot though.
Very. So, like, I mean, it
If you're
makes
gonna be
sense.
mad about someone for so long, you've got to be hot at least.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like if I was banging, like Carmen Electra and she, did something bad to me, I would be writing music about it until I'm
Mad
70.
forever.
Oh yeah. That was another one I had a huge thing for as a kid was Carmen Electra.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was like my f- I would say like bridge
she's
into
pretty
like
hot. She's still
Carmen
pretty
Electra's
fucking hot.
she's super hot. But that was like my bridge into like getting into like watching porn and stuff. Which I mean, I know she didn't do porn, but like, finding a
No, but
celebrity who
she
was like,
had that like look where she was like a
yes,
sex kitten, like.
exactly. And she used to do these like striptease aerobics videos that I used to
Oh, I
find.
think I vaguely remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And oh man,
You know
that
who got me like kind of into that was Pamela Anderson.
is
She
right up
really, I
there with
think,
it. Yeah.
paved the way for me to want to check out more like Playboy models and that
Right.
kind of industry.
I 100% agree. I mean,
Fuck,
Pamela
she was
Anderson
so
is
hot. She was so
Jesus.
hot. I would have fucked her back in the day. Her
Yeah,
and Tommy Lee could have like trained me.
same. I mean, I'd have
Did
taken
you
one
see
for
the
the
Tommy
team.
Lee dick pic?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, I
I
watched
wasn't
the
even mad about it, honestly. I was like, all right, like,
if
old man's
I
got it.
look, if I was, on that level, I wouldn't wear pants ever. Like I would
Nah,
walk
I'd
into a
be out
bank I
sunbathing my
mean,
balls every day, like.
yeah. I mean, I would be like using it to like, open every door. Like I mean,
Yeah, baby, that's a kickstand. That is not even a.
yeah, it's really not fair.
So
I
many
mean,
people were talking shit about it, like on my Twitter feed, and I was just like,
crazy.
bro, Tommy, where are you? Like,
Yeah, the dude is, hey, he is living a real life dream for
Tommy Lee, if
sure.
you fucking ever hear or see this, call me.
Same. Yeah.
We'll make something happen.
Jesus. Have you ever like I mean, I wonder if you could like do you think you could film a scene with a celebrity like now? Or do you think most celebrities are still just like, "Oh no, I would not do that."
Man, I
Like,
feel like most celebrities are making people send fucking non-disclosure agreements and shit nowadays.
yeah,
But I'm very confident that I could get somebody to want to sleep with me bad enough where they would just be like, all right, let's do it.
agreed.
Fuck my lawyer. Like,
Yeah. Have you ever had a celebrity like get into like your DMs? I know that's a
oh
huge
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing. Have you ever called them out? Like, I mean, okay, not call them out, but like, has there ever been any who have like been real weird about it?
Oh yeah, like most of them are really weird about it because they're celebrities. Um
Good point.
I
Yeah,
was just sending a celebrity some nudes last night. Uh
really. Like, what
there
level of
was one
celebrity are
though.
we
There was
talking?
one I had some beef that I kind of called out a little bit because some shit came out on TMZ with another chick.
Okay.
Um and yo, I'll actually even talk about it a little
Okay.
bit. Basically, so like back before I got like into the like porn industry, I was like a stripper and I would travel a little bit. I had some friends in Chicago. And one weekend I was down there and I got this like message from an anonymous Instagram. It was like, "Oh, I play for the Celtics. I really want to meet you, blah blah blah. Like let's get dinner or something, but like you can't tell people who I am, but I'll pay you for it." And I was like,
Larry Bird?
"Nah."
No.
And I was
Okay.
like "Okay, well, this seems like bullshit. No." So then he ends up being like, "Well, do you have Snapchat?" So I like had given my Snapchat at the time and he ends up Snapchatting me like videos and shit. It's Avery Bradley. And
Okay.
and he's like, "Yo, come meet up with me." And I was like, "Okay." So I fucking went and met up with him. It was so fucking weird. He didn't want to go eat. He wanted something else. And I was like, "Yo, for my safety, I have two dudes with straps in a car downstairs waiting for me. I have a text ready to send for them to come up to this room number if you're weird." And he's like, "Okay, well, don't do that. I'll give you $500 if you just let me take a video of your ass. And I was like, okay, fine. So he takes this video of me like twerking my ass for like a minute or whatever, gives me this money, and I was like, this is stupid. So like I'm leaving. He's like, oh, you can't let my coaches see you leaving the room and shit. And like I dip, but like all of them had their like bags outside of their door for like laundry. I
Yeah.
snatched his fucking practice gear and like dipped, and I ended up selling it on eBay. But
That- oh my
but like
god.
so he was so fucking weird. He was always fucking so fucking weird. Like weirdest dude I ever met. Like smell armpits and shit. Like but so then he found out I was in Milwaukee. So every time the Celtics would come to Milwaukee, he would fucking
Yeah.
hit me up like, "Hey, let's get dinner. Let's hang out. Let's smash or whatever." But don't tell my wife we got a baby on the way. So then like some chick that he was also having like an affair with in like California or something like went to TMZ, was like, Avery Bradley's having this affair with me, blah blah blah. And then so I hopped on the fucking train, like I
Yeah.
got all these screenshots and texts and shit from him too, like this fucking weirdo. Like needless to say, his marriage got fucked up for yeah, I don't even know if it's a thing anymore.
I'm gonna guess no.
Yeah, you'd be stupid to say with someone like that, but yeah, then he got traded and like is irrelevant now. So,
Yeah. Damn.
but he was
Poor.
definitely the weirdest. Like
That's a that's a good one.
the these people are so used to like people wanting to throw themselves at them
Yeah.
and like being treated like they're fucking gods. So it's like when people
Yeah.
are just like, "Ugh, you're not shit. Like, who are you?" They're like, I want you more. Pay attention to me.
Yeah.
Here's my money. Like.
Oh, that's for sure the way to handle it is to just be like, not interested. I
I'm
mean,
like, who the fuck are you? Like, literally, I was like, who are you? I have to Google you. Like,
did you really? You didn't know who he was?
I really didn't know. I didn't
I
know
mean,
shit.
understandable, but no
I
offense,
didn't know
Avery, but
shit. I feel like I'm a Milwaukee girl. Like, why would I know who the fucking
yeah,
Celtics are?
true, true. Yeah, I mean, the whole time in my head, I'm honestly picturing like Larry Bird or Kevin McHale or something. So,
I wish it was someone cool.
well, I don't know if they're cool, but I
Okay,
mean, they're
I wish
well
it was someone
known.
hotter.
Oh shit, Larry Bird is definitely not. I mean, Larry Bird actually looks like a bird. I mean, it's the
Probably got
most.
more money though.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Larry Bird is, I'm sure,
The more money you
loaded.
have, the more attractive you are. That's just common sense.
Yeah. Well,
Like if I
that's
could
bad
find me
news.
like a nice 78-year-old man with a lot of money. Oh yeah, I
Hmm.
can pretend to love choking on that.
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, I could pretend for him. He's kind of funny, so like and I think like our assholeness would clash or not clash, like I think it'd get along really good.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think his is
I
a
think he would
high level.
understand like where to draw a line with like a chick.
Well, I don't know. Do you know much about his his past?
Yeah, but
Because
okay, but
he had
that's
some
the
issues with
past.
Polanski that are a bit weird. So
Okay, but like,
I know it was
she
also the
count?
'70s, but
Does she count?
the 13-year-old that he had. Well,
Oh shit, I don't know about that.
okay, okay. So allegedly, you know about Roman Polanski, right? Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I've heard some shit.
So he was, yeah, directed Rosemary's Baby. His wife and unborn baby were killed by Charles Manson's Manson family.
Yeah,
After that, he was really good friends with Jack Nicholson because they made some, I think, made a movie together. Apparently, the whole story of Roman Polanski having sex with a 13-year-old, which is the reason why he doesn't live in the U.S. anymore, is that was in Jack Nicholson's hot tub. And Jack Nicholson knew about it and was like, "Oh yeah, go ahead, go ahead." Which now does that mean Jack Nicholson
but
should
is
just be
there
canceled?
proof or is that hearsay?
It's pretty well documented by Jack Nicholson's ex-wife, Angelica Houston.
Ugh.
She was very against the idea of Roman Polanski being in their home, and because apparently there was already some suspicious stuff. Again, Jack Nicholson, greatest
Yeah,
actor of all time,
I just
so
don't know why you would even want to invite somebody that young in your home either.
God, like I don't even want to hang out with someone who's younger than me.
It's hard. It's
Yeah.
fucking hard. Like, I don't know if you've tried to have a conversation with a Gen Z lately, but
Yeah. Boy, that's a rough one.
dude, I
It'll make
feel
your
like
nose bleed.
gears grinding in my fucking head sometimes. I'm just like who the fuck raised you kids?
Oh, it's wild. Like, and maybe I don't know, maybe it is like the old generation, whatever, which I mean, I know we're not like an old generation, but
No, but we were raised by
boy,
that generation that had those like that mentality still.
right, like Gen X.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, the Gen Z kids are whew, that is a weird, weird group. There's a thing about Gen Z kids have never had to worry about being kidnapped.
Yeah,
And
what the
like it
fuck?
was
That
a
was one of my
thing.
biggest fears growing up.
That and quicksand were my 2 biggest fears as a kid.
Oh,
And quicksand's not even
quicksand,
real.
undertow, and getting kidnapped.
Oh, Undertow's a good one, yeah. But quicksand's not a
Bro.
real thing. That's what's crazy. It doesn't exist. No one has
Yeah, I
died
was
from
terrified
quicksand.
when I was a kid. Like, we would be swimming in like Lake Michigan,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I would get out like to my waist, and then I'd like hop on whatever floaty, like, can't drag me down. Like,
Yeah.
terrified I would drown.
I mean,
Like,
we used to go find old men who we knew were weird. We'll just say, who would be on like a certain radar, and we would go knock on their door and run away for fun.
oh
I
my god.
mean, and if one of us doesn't make it out in time, then he gets to win for the day.
Oh my god,
And
that's so funny. The
but
town I grew up in had a trailer park that was like divided in three sections, and
yeah,
like there was this one section that was further back than all the rest, and that's literally where all the chomos lived. Like,
yeah,
and like that was like the one area like, every year for Halloween it was just dark. The whole fucking trailer park just dark. Everybody else lit
yeah,
up. Like you knew,
yeah,
like,
yeah. We had a dude who drove a hearse, like in
oh,
our trailer park, drove a hearse, and my parents always told us like, don't ever talk to that guy. We're like, all right, and I we might have talked to him once or twice while he's driving his hearse. Turns out he had been kidnapping and murdering kids. And I was just so
shut the
lucky.
fuck
Swear to
up.
God. I was just so he lived like so there's like the trailer park and then down the street were like regular houses. He lived in one of those. So like he was like trailer park adjacent. I assume he moved to that area for a reason. Uh but yeah,
Oh
he had
my
kidnapped and
god.
murdered a couple kids, and I think I was just lucky to just be super obese that he was like, I'm gonna have a
I
hard
can't pick
time.
that fucker
Yeah,
up.
I'm
Like,
gonna have a hard time getting this chubby fuck inside this hearse. So, here I am today, but yeah,
oh my god, that
not
was my
good.
biggest fear when I was a kid. Like, oh my god, because I'm small. Like, and it doesn't matter
Yeah,
how big or bad or how much I think I can fight back. It literally, whoop, I'm gone. Like,
yeah, yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
I'm a full grown adult and I'm like barely 115 pounds. I'm like five
Jesus.
two. Like,
Yeah. I'm 3 of you. Yeah, that's wild. Jesus.
yeah,
Yeah,
you'd literally potato sack me.
yeah. God damn. Yeah, my biggest fear actually, I mean, this is not something I probably should be sharing to the public, but here it goes. My biggest fear has always been since I was a kid grasshoppers.
They're creepy.
Oh
They're
my God.
creepy.
I one
Y'all get
time,
locusts down there, huh?
yeah, well, locusts are grasshoppers.
But
So
they're kind of similar.
when grasshoppers join into like a group, they start to like basically deform and become locusts, which is also
Ugh.
why they're
Yeah, I've seen
disgusting.
the like.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. I mean, we also have like cicadas, which are terrifying in their own
We get
way.
some of those up in Wisconsin. They're kind of creepy too.
Yeah, but like grasshoppers. I mean, I called into work one time whenever I used to work at that movie theater. Called into work because there was a grasshopper on the door handle of my car, and I was like, "No." So I just walked right back inside, called and said I was sick, and
I
it's
don't
like
blame you.
I mean,
They're
I'm
fucking.
horrible.
They're creepy. Crickets
Yeah.
too are really creepy, honestly.
Yeah, crickets are odd. bugs in
I don't like
general are
them.
odd.
They're like willing to jump into me as I'm walking, and I don't like
Yeah,
that.
I don't like any kind of bug that isn't terrified of something my size.
Yeah.
'Cause I either think, "Okay, you're the dumbest thing on the planet," or you have nothing to lose, and there's something real dangerous about something that has nothing to lose, you
You
know?
want to know what bug really fucks me up, and it's like not a typical bug that scares people.
Okay.
Ladybugs. Oh,
I it's okay, it's not ladybugs when they're just walking, like, crawling. When they
when they're
fly,
flying.
because it splits up and then their wings, like, they get
Yes, they're
huge,
like
you're like, "What
like
the"
fucking gross. And then there's those Japanese beetles that look just like them, but they're a little oranger and they
Yeah,
fucking bite. And you're
and
like, when they're flying at you, you can't tell the difference. You're just like, get
no.
the fuck away
And
from me. And they always
like
want to land on you.
yeah, and they're, like, legitimately dangerous. Like, if
Are
you
they
have
really?
well, if you I mean, for humans, not that much other than they just bite and it sucks, but, like, if you have dogs and you have those ladybugs around, you need to, like, constantly check the roof of their mouths because those ladybugs will stick to the roof of the
Blech.
dog's mouth and feed on it.
No.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you have a
No.
dog, but you might wanna
I'm
check that
so
with a
glad I
vet.
don't have a dog, but that's
Yeah.
fucking disgusting.
Yeah, bugs shouldn't exist. I mean, I don't know
No.
what exactly their purpose is other than bees, which I like bees. Bees are
Yeah, I'm
cool.
fine with I'm allergic to bees, but like, you know
Yeah,
what?
but
They
they're
don't
not
fuck with
like
me.
exactly, like, they're not like wasps who are just, like, inherently
Oh,
assholes.
no, yeah, I can't
Yeah,
do that.
but, yeah, bugs just don't seem to have as much of a purpose. Like, it's not worth it,
So
whatever
like
their
what are
purpose
you
is.
doing besides like jump scares on human beings?
They are real life jump scares.
What
Like,
the fuck? Like, oh, don't get me started on spiders. Like, I know that's super typical. I've been bit
for a
by
reason.
two fucking brown recluses in the last 5 years.
Jesus.
Both times, like fucking giant holes with MRSA. Like,
Yeah. Spiders
fuck
suck.
spiders, dude. I see a spider, I'm the first person ready to burn a building down. Like,
That's
nope.
understandable. I do like snakes a lot,
Oh, I
which
love
is weird.
snakes.
Yeah, snakes are
I
cool as hell.
love
I
snakes.
assumed you like snakes.
I'm one
I
of those
mean,
weird
if
bitches
I
where
was gonna guess,
if I go camping, I'm like trying to catch snakes and frogs and shit like that.
yeah. I used
Yeah,
to
I love
always go
it.
like I mean, probably because I grew up, at a time where Steve Irwin was like our god. And
Yes.
so, I mean, I always wanted to go out and find snakes and just like hold them like he did, which is
Mhm.
super dangerous, especially in Texas where not
Oh,
most of
I
the
bet you
snakes are
guys got
very
crazy shit down
yeah, we have
there.
like rattlesnakes and
Yeah,
stuff like
see, up
that.
in Wisconsin, we don't have shit like that. It's like little garden snakes and shit like that.
And
But we
serial
would,
killers.
yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta worry about the people more than the
that's
wildlife.
true. It's a little of column A and column B here in Texas because everyone has a gun,
Dude, you know
which
what animals are really dangerous in Wisconsin?
moose. Do you have moose?
Deer.
Do you, oh,
There's
deer.
not many deer, or there's not many moose out there, but deer,
Oh,
oh my god, they're
no,
big
deer are
as
super
fuck.
dangerous.
They're big
Yeah.
as fuck, and they literally like to jump into the sides of fucking cars. Like,
Yeah. Oh, that's a universal problem, I
oh
think,
my,
or nationwide
see,
problem because we
in
have it
Denver
in
or Colorado, we have really tiny deer. Like,
yeah,
they're
well, that's true.
pathetic. They're fucking
Yeah.
pathetic.
And elk, but elk probably don't do anything. I mean, I don't
Oh
know.
yeah.
Are they really
I've
bad?
seen some pretty big ass moose out here, like in packs, which that's pretty fucking cool. Like they would
That's
definitely
awesome.
fuck up a car,
Yeah.
but they're so sweet and calm. Pretty much any time I've ever seen them.
Yeah, we have a lot of deer, and they are. I mean, they are also probably tied with cows for being the dumbest animals on the planet. Like, I mean, I've almost hit a deer so many times, and just being like, basically playing chicken with them. Like, are you gonna jump, or do I need to go? Like, and then I'll
Yeah, it's
start to be like, all
like
right, well, you're clearly not gonna jump, so I'll go. And as soon as I go, oh, now I'll jump. I'm like, you mother.
yeah,
Like,
and sometimes they'll literally jump head on into your fucking windshield. Like,
yeah.
well, where were you gonna go?
Well, I maybe they're just, sick of this world. It's understandable.
These humans.
Yeah. I mean, if I was
I
constantly
don't
being
blame
hunted,
them.
I'd do it too. Yeah, that's amazing. So, how often do you film scenes? Like, I mean, do you shoot a lot of content or like, I
Um,
mean, regularly?
I feel like I'm kind of a lazy porn star. Um,
Huh, that's not
I
bad.
I shoot enough to like make my rent payment and fund my like clothing hobbies and shit like that, my
Okay.
music hobbies. So I probably only shoot like maybe one or two scenes a month, if that. If I shoot enough shit one month, I'll just sell that through 2 or 3 months if I'm
Yeah.
like going through it, or like there's just like so many things that factor into being a content creator, being a mainstream porn actress, and then like trying to balance and maintain your actual life and mental health.
That's yeah, I can get that. Do you have I mean, I don't think I even asked you this. Do you have an OnlyFans?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I mean, I assume so, but I didn't know. So, like, your content for your OnlyFans, is that more like, "This is me on the side filming things," or is that
Yeah,
also with a
so
production
I
company or something?
I almost never post collabs or
Okay.
my professional things on there. I pretty much
Mhm.
strictly use it as like a, this is me, this is outside of on set, this is real shit. Occasionally I will post a collaboration with another OnlyFans artist or somebody who is an um amateur whatever, definition that. And that is more like the realistic, the raw, the grimy, the
Mhm.
the hot sex that people
Okay.
imagine what they think porn is, but it's like if porn sex is so fucking monotonous. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and I typically shoot one type of scene, and that's just like, I'm the emo bimbo, I'm gonna take it in the ass, like.
Nice. I mean, yeah, it's not a bad route to go.
Yeah, I try to appease to as many people as I can.
Yeah,
Not everybody wants to subscribe to sites. Not everybody wants to
right.
look at dudes, fucking somebody.
Yeah.
Some people want to just look at feet, or a girl smoking topless, or, masturbating in your bathroom. Like normal shit, but it's like they get off to it more because it's more realistic in their head. It is the
Right.
fantasy girl that they are attracted to, but it's real life shit that they can
Yeah.
imagine.
I get that for sure. That's why, like, amateur as a genre is massive. I mean, because a lot of people want it to be like to seem obtainable, you know?
Mhm.
And a giant I mean, a huge production doesn't seem obtainable. But that
Yeah,
in
no.
general is kind of more what I'm into just because I like the fantasy of it, you
Yeah.
know? Like, because I know that it's not real. Like, it's the same way I look at professional wrestling. Like, I don't want to go watch like in general, go watch some dudes in a parking lot wrestle.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather see it like, WWE wrestling. But
Yeah.
I also I kinda do wanna see some people fight in a parking lot sometimes. So, like,
Exactly.
I like a little of both, but completely understand how people would be way more into just seeing, like, a real life version, or as close
Yeah.
to that as possible, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do
Yeah, it,
you
it makes a lot of sense for me too. Cause like personally when I'm watching porn, like I like to look up the like amateur POV shit.
Mhm.
I'm like, that's sexier to me. Like
Yeah.
that's really real shit. Like that's not somebody throwing a bunch of lube on and being like, this looks like cum. All right, do this position for 10 minutes. All right, next thing. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sometimes you want to see like a pussy get spit on and like the real shit that you're doing. Like,
Oh, yeah. It's our family motto here. Sometimes you just wanna see a pussy get spit on. It's understandable. Yeah. That is amazing. God. So do you have I mean, I know I am really, stretching time here, but, do you have any, like, kinda like bucket list things that you would like to do? Like, specifically in porn? Like, certain types of scenes or work with
oh
certain
yeah.
people?
Oh yeah. Specifically, I really want to work with Zach Wild. I just met him recently, and
Okay.
like his content is always so hot.
Mhm.
Um, I really want to do like a gangbang, like a huge one, but like where I'm the only girl. Like I just want to
Yeah.
get cream pie after cream pie, like annihilated by like at least 10 people.
Jesus.
I
That
think it'd
is
be really cool. Like emo slut takes on the team. Like I don't know.
Yeah, just call up the Celtics. You got an in with them, so
I'm gonna have to look at some of these teams and see who's got the hottest players.
oh, that's an interesting way to go. I wonder if they would if they were all allowed to wear masks or cover tattoos.
Oh, I
Like, I
bet.
wonder,
I
like,
bet.
yeah, I bet
It's super
so.
easy to like the even one of the like mainstream people I shoot with now, like they cover their tattoos. They blur them out when the shit's shot.
Oh, really? But
Mhm.
these are people who are in porn or not?
Yeah, so like a lot of people who are in porn like also do other things, have other businesses or LLCs and
Okay.
shit like that.
Right,
So
right.
there are like especially when it comes to male talents, a lot of them try to do keep as much anonymity as they can.
Okay. Well, that makes more sense. I wasn't even thinking about it like that. Well, I mean, hit up Jesus. Hit up the old Denver Nuggets. I mean, you live in
Oh
Denver, you could
god.
probably get Jokic and all them.
Some of them are kind of hot.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure, like, I mean, I mean, people are going to be questioning me after this. Oh, well, whatever. But I mean, yeah, I bet you could pull that off. If anyone could pull it off, it's you. So, you know,
Well,
that's,
I'll start reaching out on Twitter.
you should. Yeah, that is incredible. Well, look, I mean, I've kept you way longer than I should have. So, before we go, is there anything else that you'd like to tell the world? And, where can people find you? All that good stuff.
Oh shit. The main place I would suggest to find me is on Instagram. My handle is FACETATMAMII underscore. I'm also on OnlyFans, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, all of it.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on. This was a real pleasure. So,
Thank
yeah,
you so much for
enjoyed
having
it.
me. I had a lot of
N-
fun.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, until next time, goodbye.
Thank you so much.